Hello there. I am delighted that you were tuned to May TV today on another episode of
Your opinion.
Thank you for coming on the show. Today I have another interesting topic that you may like to come along with us in its discussion. I would like to please have your comment. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and also turn on your notification button if you have not done so. What are we talking about today? What is more important for employment in the 21st century? What is more important for employment in 21st century? When we come back, I will complete the question. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in on Mate TV. Today we'll be discussing what is more important for employment in the 21st century. Is it skill or qualification? My name is Lovely Carrie, your anchor on today's program, and I have with me here.
I'm Racha Dekunle.
Thank you for that beautiful smile. You are welcome on the
Thank
show.
you.
And
Moses Suba.
Uba UBA, welcome on the show. All right, today I said earlier that we are talking about skill or qualification, and without delay, we will be going straight to define both concepts, and not only defining it, then we go ahead to expatiate on each concept. So, what is skill? Skill is display of art, techniques. That's literally what skill is all about. What you can basically do with your brain, and it's not just limited to handiwork of what you can do with your hand. How can you solve problem? That is what skill is all about. The way you can solve problem. What approach can you use? And of course, majorly 21st century activities and work is based on problem solving. What problem can you solve? And that's why when you go for an interview, employers will ask you, what can you do for us? It's okay to have PhD. It's okay to have masters. It's okay to have your degree. But what else can you do? And that's where skill comes in. Then qualification, at the other hand, is a form of validation of your domain knowledge. Formal validation that, okay, you studied this, you have information on this particular area, and this will give assurance to your employer that to offer you a job. The fact that you have a certificate is a validation to them that you already have knowledge, information on this domain, on the particular area of knowledge, so they can work with you. Knowing that you have information. Yes, you are qualified. So qualification. When we talk about qualification, we're talking about certificate. Certificate. Unfortunately, some people just have the.
Certificate.
It's just about the paper. Qualification is it's just about the paper. So what can you do? European schools now thrive majorly online, because what do you need education for? Just the information. But when we talk about something extra that you can do, we're talking about skills. We're talking about skills. Okay, am I saying that one is more important than the other? Well, let's go ahead and discuss. Let's discuss both sides of the coin. Let's look at skills. What skills are needed in the 21st century? What skills do you need to acquire in the 21st century?
Yeah, in the 21st century, there are a lot of skills that one needs to acquire
Okay.
in order to be able to deliver. Because when once you're being employed in the workplace, I think we are discussing it, tailoring down to the workplace now.
Of course.
Okay. Now, in the workplace, there are skills that are necessary. Skills like communication skill. If you're being employed in any place and
Okay.
you're unable to communicate properly, that means there's something wrong. In fact, you can't flow, you can't deliver. Even if you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of ideas, and then you don't know how to communicate these ideas, you don't know how to flow, you don't know how to make people know the things you have, the knowledge, you don't know how to impact the knowledge you have. There would be, in fact, you will not last long there. You will be termed unproductive. Yeah, unproductive, no
Yeah.
matter the field. We whether it doesn't, I don't think these communication skills now tell us down to whatsoever field, whatsoever workplace, because you will meet people,
Yeah.
you will be dealing with customers,
Yeah.
people will be so, and then you are supposed to know how to attend to people, talk to people politely, be able to express yourself in a good polished English. in, I- I- and then if there are other languages that are expected of you, you're supposed to be able to go ahead and communicate. Communication is all, and then communication is not all about speaking. There are a lot of things that when your actions, sometimes they say
The body
actions,
language.
yeah, body language. Sometimes they say action speaks louder than voice. You might be saying something else and then your body language is telling the person something else. So all these are some of the things that are necessary in communication skills. So if you're acquiring a communication skill, that skill is supposed to be able to help you relate well with co-workers, what's it, customers, be able to even advertise. If it's a business that needs to be advertised, you should know the appropriate words to use to be able to sell the business well or represent the company or organization very well. So if you are unable to develop these skills, even if you don't have them at onset, if you're unable to develop them, there will be trouble, and then you'll be unproductive, and then I don't think there will be an employer would like keeping such employee that is always bringing
Friction
problems
and
and frictions to the organization.
Mm.
Yeah.
Communication. That's a great one in the office, and as well as interaction in your interaction with clients.
Yeah.
You need to understand the kind of people you are relating with and how to diplomatically. It's a skill.
Yeah.
You have to diplomatically deploy your skills in maintaining your customers and as well as being able to solve their problems.
Problems. Yeah.
And of course, communication is not only oral, we have the written
Written
aspect.
one.
The written aspect, your carriage is also part of communications. So these are skills that have to be developed. When it comes to negotiation, you use your communication skills.
Yeah.
You have to be able to deploy it well.
Right.
You have to be able to deploy it appropriately. Thank you.
Well, talking about skills, yeah. When we're talking about skill like this, it's not. We should let's be mindful because normally when we talk about skill in Nigeria, what people think is about getting a handwork. That's what people think skill is. But skill is more than that. Skill is more than that. And another skill that people need in this 21st century is teamwork.
Yeah.
You can get all the qualification, you can get 7 PhDs, and if you are not able to work in a team to be productive, it's a waste.
Yeah.
They say that a man cannot make an island.
Sure.
A single person can't make an island. A single person can't grow a company. You can't make a business. A single person can't. To build an empire, no, you can't. even if you try, but you can't. So you need a team, and if you're in that team, you can't relate well. You don't know how to work with a team. You're always like, I don't like working with this. I don't like working with this person. I detest this person. There's no way the production will flow.
Sure.
There's no way. So teamwork is a skill that people need to acquire in this century. Teamwork, being able to work with other people, every kind of person. Teamwork comes is a big thing, because you have to learn how to tolerate
Tolerance, yeah.
anything at all. Being able to accept and reject at the right time. Not you know when to speak and when not to speak. Teamwork is a very big thing, and I wish people can understand, and I pray they will, because without teamwork there's no production.
Teamwork is cannot be overemphasized in the
Yeah.
21st century, because you need people to work for you.
Yeah.
You need to be able to mobilize people to fulfill your goals. You need to be able to use the human resources available. You cannot work alone. You cannot achieve more alone. You can only achieve minimally when you are working alone. But when you have a team, you can achieve a lot within a short time. You can achieve your dreams within a short time. So we are still on the skills of the 21st century. What are the skills that are needed in the 21st century?
Okay, another skill that is very important today in this 21st century is leadership skill.
Leadership skill.
Yeah, in fact, you have to be a leader. A leader, no matter the position that you will be that you will be given in your place of assignment or a place of employment. There is a need for you to have a sense of leadership. Leadership is all about being able to mobilize, being able to coordinate, being able as in be proactive.
Innovative.
Yeah, be innovative. There are a lot of qualities of a leader. That we have leadership qualities, and those leadership qualities is required for anyone who wants to be impactful in this 21st century, because there will be time the need will arise for it. Even if you are not in a leadership position, positions, time changes, when people will be moved from one place to another, replacements from time to time.
Yeah.
And then let's assume you're not prepared for it, and then the opportunity comes. Maybe you're already in an organization working, not as a leader, but then maybe something happened that your leader was transferred, and then you are the nearest person to take up that position. Then even if you're not a leader, there are other things on the ground that you're expected to use the discretion of a leader to deal with. There are some issues that might come up in the absence of the employer, that he will be expecting you to deploy your skill, be able to manage the situation, be able to control, be able to organize and make sure that there's free flow and free running of the organization. And then you say, hey, I'm not a leader, I'm not supposed to. If you shy away from such things, that would be to be detrimental to the organization as well. So whether you are going to be in a leadership position or not, leadership skill is very, very necessary. In fact, everyone is ought to be a leader. That's one of the problems we have today. People are just there relaxed and they are comfortable to be followers. They will just be waiting for people to give them directives, and then they keep criticizing. If you watch, people that criticize most are those that don't even know what leadership is all about. They will just relax at their comfort zone, and they will be criticizing people that are doing something, people that they are at the helm of affairs. And then this is what is expected of everyone. If everyone can have a sense of responsibility, that's that leadership skill. Have the sense of responsibility. Know that at every point in time, I can do something, even if the rightful person there is not available, we will allow an opportunity to slip away because the person is not there. So it has to do with discretion. It has to do with being able to manage situations as it comes. So it has so much to, yeah, there's so much to it. So
So,
leadership skill is very important
sorry,
for anybody. Yeah.
let me quickly add to that. You know, when being employed in an organization, what makes you stand out and being up for promotion is your leadership skill.
Yeah.
Now, in a team, and they drop something. Okay, work on this,
Yeah.
and you on your own, as you having that leadership sense of leadership and the skill in it, you pick it up. Okay, you start organizing it.
Yeah.
Leaders are organizers.
Yeah.
So you start organizing it, and eyes are watching. Eyes are watching. You are up for promotion.
Sure.
They see that, okay, yes, this is the kind of leader we want. So it brings promotion in an organization. So leadership skill is something people need to get. Even I myself.
Okay. Yes. And furthermore, on that, thank God you said everybody could be a leader.
Sure.
So when we talk about leadership, it's not about somebody who heads. It's about innovation.
Innovation. Yeah.
It's about being able
Yes.
to go extra mile.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's about
Being strategic.
being strategic. Being strategic.
Responsible.
It's about equanimity. Equanimity means even under tough situations, you are still able to work.
Yeah.
Yes, you are still able to work. You are still able to deliver, as well as pull others along. A leader may not necessarily somebody who heads an organization, but sometimes these skills find them out,
Yeah.
and they
Yes.
get leadership positions, HOD, MDs, and all that. But the real sense of leadership is being innovative.
Yeah.
And a person who is innovative, no doubt, will be able to stand on his own also as an entrepreneur, because it
Yes.
takes the spirit of leadership to own your own business.
Sure.
And when you own your own business, I think that's when you become even more productive. So a sense of leadership is not limited to being ahead.
Yeah.
It's basically innovation. We're still talking about 6 skills on the 21st century.
Yes. Another skill we need to get is social skills.
Social skills.
Yeah, being able to associate and relate well with the society and to the layman. Now, you in a marketing department, what will make you stand out is you being able to socialize.
Yeah.
When you go out on the field, you're not this rigid kind of person. You know how to relate down
You're
to
flexible.
be flexible, know how to relate down to the lady, the mama selling pepper in the market. You understand? That makes
Know
you
what,
know how they are.
how they relate, what they want, and
what
how
they
to
want.
adapt
Yes.
to them.
So being able to socialize is not being like being on social media. That's making you. That doesn't make you social. No.
Yeah.
When you are
I
when you
think your
easily-
social media personality also matters.
it is.
It's
It's
part of
not-
it.
Sorry
but
for
it's
the
not-
interruption, but
but
then
not really part of it.
okay.
Being able to make a friend easily and trying to have a steady conversation, it's hard. You just can't. I don't know how people do. You meet someone and before you know, you're already flowing, and the person is like pointing out things to you. It's rare. It's not everybody that does that. It's not about going on social media and being a public person. No, social skill is going out there to the field and selling your product and people buying it.
Yeah.
You understand? Like I have one of my friends that I say when I have my own company, you be my marketer. As in you be the head of marketing department. He can bring a nylon now and sell it to you and you buy it. He's very good at it. He will give you 1,000,000 reasons why you should buy
You
the
need it.
product. Yes. He will give you millions of reasons why you should buy that product. And I don't have that kind of skill. It's in him. In marketing, in socializing, he has friends. So much that we were like talking about that if he runs for council or even governorship election in Nigeria, he will win. He's very popular. Now that doesn't mean that social skill is something we need to work on.
Well, it also boils down to relationships. When we talk
Yeah.
about social,
Yes.
that's the relationship. For someone who will be an entrepreneur, somebody who will work with companies, you have to be able to relate well. Yes, because relationship, people buy your products, they transact with you when they feel connected with you. In a workplace, you have to be able to also relate with others. Relate minimally, not like this personal thing where you discuss personal issues. No, you don't discuss personal issues. It's majorly work. Then you just have to be able to relate with your boss, with other colleagues, with clients, with customers.
Yes.
They need to have that accessibility.
Yeah.
Yes, they need to have that accessibility with you. You have to be approachable.
Yeah.
Then when they need certain information, you need to even pass it to them without asking. So it's a skill. It's a skill when you go on behalf of your company to another company for seminars and all of that. You are able to relate, get information from other people. So that is what the social skill is all about. Social, when we talk about a social
Yeah.
relationship,
Relationship.
relationship with customers. There are different kinds of people, or there is competition. You have other people doing the same thing you do.
Yeah.
So your relationship also determines how
Single
well
you
you
out.
keep your own clients and customers. Let's continue.
All right. Another important skill for this 21st century is technology skill.
Technology.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the world is going technological now. In fact, everything today is technology. Almost everything. We now have robots that even
Robots.
do the work of humans. So everything is really really going technological. And then, as an individual seeking to be impactful in this generation, seeking to work or even be successful in your business, you have to add technology. You have to have this technological know-how. Know how to be able to use ICT. Okay, use platforms that has already been created for advancements, for advertisements, for a lot of awareness out there. Like some of them is one of it is social media. To be able to know how to handle social media, be able to sell yourself there, and also you should be able to know, at least have basic skills on computer, ICT, be able to there are a lot of things that you can just do these days without ICT. Unless you still want to just be locked up in that your local area or that local environment, if you don't want to be known everywhere all over the world. But if you want to be known everywhere, you have to actually incorporate ICT technology to whatsoever thing you're doing. So it's a skill, and then it's a very important one in this 21st century that anybody who wants to stand out must be able to acquire. There are a lot of programs on computer. There are a lot of things you can learn. Microsoft, how to use Microsoft, how to do PowerPoint, how to graphics. We have graphics design. We have a lot of them. We have a lot of constructions going on there. In fact, there are a lot of businesses that are online that people don't even know physically, but they are existing and they are making waves, even generating more funds and revenues, because they have they have the whole world at their disposal. So now, for us to thrive in this 21st century, we need it. It can't be overemphasized. Yeah.
That's well said. Technological skill cannot be overemphasized in 21st century. And when we talk about technological skills, the knowledge of computer,
Yeah.
operating machines, there's someone who studied accounting, that's just a qualification.
Sure.
There are other things, other skills, data analysis,
Yeah.
being able to
Processing.
data processing, right? And also being able to analyze, being able to draw your reports from appropriate apps
Yeah.
made available on the computer. So technological issue ranging also, like I said earlier, from the use of computer to the operation of machines. And there is virtually anything you can do these days without the use of machines. It makes your work faster,
Yeah.
it reduces stress, and it gives you accurate results. Another skills, before we go to the most important one that we've not talked about, is writing skills. You have to be able to write diplomatically, use the right approach, construct correct grammar. You'll be writing to You'll be writing proposals. You'll be
Yeah.
writing proposals. You'll be writing adverts. I think that's part of technological
Technology,
skill.
yeah.
Being able to use the internet,
Internet.
e-marketing, and business thrives more on the internet,
Internet,
more
yeah.
than even the physical advertisements.
Yeah.
Most people don't even share flyers anymore. All they need to do is just
Go on.
all they need to do is just go on the internet. So we have e-marketing, e-commerce, e-training. Even it comes to the field of when it comes to the field of teaching, also you have to be able to teach online. That's part of the technological know-how. So when you have to be able to also write skills. I was on writing skill before deviating to technological skills. Of course, they go on in hand because
Yeah.
most of the things you're going to be writing are going to be on the internet. So you're going to type. You're going to also create designs
Yeah.
also. Then, finally, for today, there are numerous skills you need to acquire for the 21st century, but the most important is the critical thinking. Critical thinking, you're able to think out of the box. You're able to look around for problems you can solve.
Yeah.
Critical thinking yields problem solving.
Yeah.
What problem can you solve? And by the time you start to solve problems, you start to make waves, you start making money. Your influence determines the problem you can solve. Someone comes out to say that, oh, these people here, they don't have shoes. They don't have shoes. How can I help them to have shoes? Okay, we can join this, bring it over, then they have shoes. Okay, in Africa, the weather is hot, extremely hot. They need air conditioner, they need air fan. Somebody starts to import. You're thinking out of the box because that is how you can survive. That is how you can make money in the face of inflation and economic challenges in the 21st century. You have to think about out of the box. Look at the environment and see problems. There are lots of problems to be solved. And when you start solving problems, from there you make a living. You become relevant.
Yeah.
So thinking out of the box is the first and the most important skills for the 21st century. When you start thinking out of the box, every other skills we have mentioned earlier, the teamwork, communication, leadership, writing, technology, leadership, and every other thing, communication, everyone comes under. After you have been able to think out of the box, then you align every other skill with it. So it is important in the 21st century for you to be able to to be able to solve problem. Don't give problem. Don't give problem. Just solve problem. How can you solve problem? Yeah, problem of water, problem there.
Food.
Companies are identified by the problems they can solve.
Yeah.
There are companies who only solve communication problems. Media skills. Media is another skill entirely.
Yeah.
There are some people whose problem the problem they solve is to be able to give information. Some their own is to give knowledge. Some their own is to provide materials for building, cover people's houses. Some
food.
some are
Produce
even Some are even making money from us being on set right now. The lightnings we have, the camera, is is a kind of innovation. Somebody's thought. The aircrafts we have today started by somebody's innovation. The law of gravity says any metal or anything that goes up must come down. But then we have two brothers who sat and said, oh, they thought about it and came out with something. Okay, we can try it. They try it, and today we have jets, different kinds of sophisticated aircrafts on ground just because somebody dared to think out of the box. Right. We are about rounding up, and when we come back from the big break, we'll have our conclusion for today. Don't forget, we've been talking about what is more important for employment in the 21st century. Is it skill? Is it qualification? We have been talking majorly about skills and as well as skills for the 21st century. Welcome back. We are still on the same discussion. We we earlier we expressed that qualification means degrees,
Yes.
paper validation, that is certificate.
Yeah.
You have people who studied mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
They studied in school, they have information about this. But when they get to the field, usually they cannot perform. You still have to call that mechanic, roadside mechanic, to fix for you.
Yeah.
So here I am feeling that something is wrong.
Yeah.
That means when you, after your university degree, you are supposed to go out to learn the main thing. Everything you did in the school was just a paperwork.
Yeah.
You've not done the main thing. You don't know how these wires and that link to the other, except you go to the field and acquire that skill.
Sure.
There are graduates of electronics, electrical engineers, and
Civil engineers.
civil engineers who cannot
Because-
build a house.
House.
Civil engineers who cannot mix cement. I don't know if that is related to only our educational system in Nigeria, but this is what is approachable here.
Yeah.
In the developed world, education is not like that. Education is practical. Both the skill and everything is done. But here we just go for the papers, and that's why the European universities are majorly online now. They're majorly online because education is just information. You need to learn skills. The practical skills needs to be learned. It's okay to have a degree. It's okay to have a PhD. It's okay to have, but you must know that both go hand in hand. Which one will solve problem? Which one will retain you in your present work? Which one will make you stand out? You need to be able to consider this. I am not against as
Qualifications.
education. Of course, education is still important. You need that knowledge.
Yeah.
You
It
need
gives
that
you
knowledge.
access.
Yes, it gives you access.
Access.
Yes, it assures your employers that you can think, and you have an idea on this. But when it comes to the basic, to the practical, you may not be relevant
Yeah.
if you don't have basic skills.
Skills.
Yes, skills like people in people in the bank now. There are different kinds of skills they go for. These different kinds of skill training. Of course, you may be. That's why it's easy for someone who studied Yoruba to still work in the bank, because after your degree, there are other courses you need to go for to be relevant in the banking industry. Otherwise, you just remain an ordinary clerk there. And so also in other companies, in other companies, even as a teacher, you need skills. That is why when you come into an organization, they ask you, what can you do for us? Yes, we know that every teacher, or even Even someone who did not study education can teach. Anybody
Yeah.
can say, okay, do this, you seek it from the. But what can you do? What problem can you solve? But then, if you now have an additional skill, a special education, you can motivate learners. You can motivate learners. You can also deal with children with special needs, the autistic children, the hearing impaired children. You can deal with them. That is a skill. It's different from just what you went to learn in a college of education and the university of education to just come and you have something that is special to offer. It's a special skill. It's a special skill. So it's not just about teaching alone. There is a skill. There are graduates of mass communication. Many of them can speak. But then when it comes to the real work, you still have to go through training. You have to
Yeah.
acquire a skill. That is why you have the broadcasting school. You go there, you know the diplomacy you employ, the skills, the special skills you need on set. So all these ones, you did not learn them in school. But when you go for skills training, you have this hands-on. Then when you come on set, you come and project the things you have learned, because the modern day job is not the way we improvise in the past. There are some things your clients, your audience, and your customers are looking for that you need to be able to give to them. So right now, you wanted to say
Yeah, I
something?
wanted to say something.
Okay.
You know, concerning this qualification and skill.
Okay.
Now, when we look at it in the Nigerian setting, okay, when we look at it in the Nigerian setting, the issue here we're having is partly our educational system. Because when you send a mechanical engineer to school to study for 4 years, and he comes out and he doesn't know what is nuts or bolts or how to change plug and all those
How
things.
to even troubleshoot when a
And-
vehicle is
and
faulty.
You understand? But that is what mechanical engineering is
It's
all
all
about.
about, yeah.
It's not just about solving physics and calculus and other things.
Unfortunately, that's what we do.
But that's what we do.
Sure.
So the educational system of Nigeria should be reformed
Yeah.
to bring more of the practical
Practical
aspects.
aspects.
That is why most people go to polytechnics, because in polytechnics you do more of practical. You get me? Most of them, they just go to technical school. For those people who your line is something technical, mechanical, electrical engineering, or computer science, they go to all these technical school to get, because the only way you can deliver and stand out is when you know what you're doing, the skill itself. Not about solving mathematics, solving calculus, and all those kind of things.
Passing
You-
exams.
and passing exams. It's not about passing exams. You understand?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, after your 6 years in school, you left school and they tell you to, "Hey, come and work for this company." It's not about writing alone. You have to deliver some things. And after, look at the system now. After you finish 5 years in school, will you go back to start learning from, learning the practical aspect for another years?
Well, the fact is that that's the reality that we found ourselves in now, and that's why you see so many graduates roaming about in the streets with papers that they
Papers.
cannot defend. They
They
can't
can't.
do anything. They have no skill to show.
That's why they are unemployed.
They're unemployed.
If truly
That's why we
you
have high
have
rates of
done a
unemployment.
science course, a technological course,
Yeah.
and nobody is employing you, you should
You
be able
employ
to do
yourself.
some
Do
services.
something.
Yourself.
Do some
Yourself.
services.
Or even go, but if it means to re-enroll to maybe a technical, anything you need, you have to do to help yourself. This is Nigeria. This is 21st century.
That's true.
And then you don't need to remain at a place, since our education system has made it that way. And then that's the reality we found ourselves. You do something on your own. If it means to go back and look for the right place to get that
To
skill,
learn it.
to learn it, to earn it. Go
There are a
back.
lot of courses. There are a lot of
Go
courses
back.
now. There
Then
are a lot of
if you
courses.
okay.
Please go ahead.
So if it means for you, whatsoever sacrifice you need to make, extra thing you need to do, there are a lot of even some of these things you can easily get them around you. Some of them even some of us even have uncles, aunts, and so many relatives that are into such fields that they can even go. Just try to do something on your own. Push yourself. Don't be limited with what
Theory aspect.
with theory aspect. What has been given. It's like somebody that studied agriculture in school, and you wanted to be a big farmer. You have this dream of becoming a big farmer, and then everything you did in school was they will just taught you cocoa, perennial crops, and all that. They just taught you and you explain everything, and you have the not. Why not go and look for a farm? Go if it means
Practicalize it.
go and practice it. Do something about it if you really want to go to that field. And then some people end up studying the courses they are not interested in, that they don't have any passion for. That's another problem we have today. People go into fields that they are not passionate about, and then when they come out they are indifferent. They just remain that way, and then they are making no impact. They are moving nowhere. They're just on the spot. Even if the course you studied is not in line with your passion, you are out. Thank God, glory be to God. You have the certificate. Keep the paper somewhere. Go and get
Develop
that your
yourself.
passion. If you love singing, why not go and enroll in a music school? If you love acting, there are ways there. Settings you can find yourself that will bring out the you in you. This thing is something about you, who you are meant to be. So let's not be relaxed at the level of certification, because it is really it will be useless if you have nothing to back up. Useless.
Your degree, your certificate, and your intellectual
Yeah.
brilliance
Yeah.
will attract your employers.
Sure.
And it's okay to be able to defend what you read. There are a lot of people who are brilliant,
Yeah.
who have gone to school, who are well read. They can replay, download what they have been taught in school. But what keeps them on the job, what retains their value in the 21st century is the
What
skills.
they're able to do.
The skills. There may be someone there who may not be able to communicate as much as you do, but has the know-how. Has the know-how. You have certificates, you maybe first degree, third degree, and fifth degree, and all of that, but you have not learned a particular skills. There are a lot of skills you can learn in any field at all: communication skill, ICT, and there are special courses. Even if you're in the field, any field relating to science, even the mechanical engineering we're talking about,
Yeah.
there are still some skills you can
Have
go
professional
for.
skills
Security, all these things. There are lots of professional skills
Yeah.
you can apply for to be able to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Viewers, degree and skills go hand in hand. None can be left out and none can be overemphasized.
Yeah.
But you need to have both. As you are studying, also delve deep into skills, because that is how you are going to survive the 21st century. When your certificate is no longer needed, your skill will
you
stand
stand
in for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Make TV. We have come to the end of today's discussion. What do you feel about our topic today? Please drop your comment in the comment section there, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We love to always have you on our channel. Don't forget also to like and share. Thank you, Moses, for coming on the show. Thank you, Amarachi. Once
Thank
again,
you.
I am Lovely Carrie. See you again next time and on this channel, Mate TV.